The sky over Earth had always seemed calm, but tonight, it was different. Strange lights danced far above the clouds, moving in patterns no human could understand. In a quiet town near the edge of the mountains, people stared in awe and fear. Phones were raised to capture the strange phenomenon, but the footage barely showed anything. The lights were too fast, too precise, almost alive. Inside a small, modern house, the Carter family sat in their living room. David Carter, the father, had his hand over his daughter's eyes as she squealed in excitement. "Dad, look! It's like stars are dancing." Emma, the youngest, whispered, her voice shaking slightly. David kept his eyes on the window, trying to calm his racing heart. Something about the lights was wrong. They moved too deliberately, too intelligently. His wife, Linda, was frozen, her lips parted in shock. She had always believed Earth was safe, that humans were alone in the universe. Tonight, that belief was crumbling. Far above, hidden behind the clouds, a ship unlike any known spacecraft approached Earth. It was massive, with a smooth silver surface that reflected the moonlight. Its shape was elegant, almost organic, like it had grown instead of being built. Inside, a figure moved gracefully across the command deck. She was tall, with pale skin that shimmered faintly, and eyes that glowed with intelligence beyond human understanding. This was the alien queen's daughter, returning to a planet she had not seen for centuries. Her mission was delicate. She was not here to fight. She was here to observe, to find something lost long ago, something important. As she scanned the surface of Earth, her gaze fell on a small town, the Carters' home. Her lips curved into a faint smile. "There," she whispered in a voice that no human could hear. "These are the ones." Back on Earth, strange signals had already reached the ears of military and scientific teams. Satellites picked up bursts of energy that seemed random at first. Dr. Harrow, the lead astrophysicist at the observatory, studied the data with increasing concern. "It's moving too fast for anything we know," he muttered to his assistant. "And the patterns, they're intelligent. Someone or something is controlling it." The alien queen's daughter watched from her ship as humans scrambled below. She could sense their fear, their curiosity, and their unspoken potential. Her heart, if she could call it that, fluttered as she thought about the legacy she might find. Centuries ago, her mother, the alien queen, had lost a part of herself here. Humans had taken in what she had left behind. Tonight, she would discover if the threads of that past still lived. Meanwhile, the Carters noticed something strange. Objects in their house began to move slightly, almost imperceptibly. Emma's toy robot spun on its own. A glass of water on the table trembled. David frowned. "Linda, did you feel that?" Before she could answer, a soft humming filled the room. It was quiet at first, almost soothing, but then it grew louder, vibrating through their bones. The lights outside intensified, shifting from silver to shades of blue and green. Emma clutched her father's hand. "Dad, I'm scared." Linda stepped forward, trying to comfort her children, but she too felt the unease. The hum wasn't coming from the sky. It was coming from inside. The alien queen's daughter had begun her silent observation. She did not want to alarm them yet. She needed to understand, to confirm that these humans were truly connected to her past. Hours passed, but to the Carters, it felt like minutes. The lights continued. Strange signals pulsed through the air, and the sense of being watched grew stronger. David, a man of reason, could no longer ignore the feeling. "We're not alone," he said quietly, almost to himself. "Something is here." At the observatory, Dr. Harrow had called in reinforcements. Satellites, radar, and deep space scanners were all tracking the anomaly. "It's approaching a populated area," he said with urgency. "We need to warn them, but how?" His voice trailed off. No one had ever faced an intelligence like this before. Back in the sky, the alien queen's daughter activated a subtle energy pulse. It was harmless, but it made the Carters' home glow briefly. Emma screamed, and David shielded his family. But then, just as suddenly, the pulse stopped. The room felt normal again, but the tension remained. The daughter observed quietly. Her eyes lingered on Emma and the other children. Their features were faintly familiar. Shapes, movements, gestures that she had seen long ago in her mother's archives. Could these be the grandchildren she never knew? Her pulse, human-like, though not fully human, quickened. The realization sent a shiver through her. She had expected difficulty. She had expected doubt. But nothing had prepared her for the truth staring back at her. Outside, a faint disturbance rippled through the sky. Military jets scrambled to intercept the unknown vessel. But the daughter's ship moved with grace and speed far beyond human technology. The pilots could barely keep it in their sights. "Control, this is insane," one pilot shouted. "It's just like it's alive." Inside the Carter's home, David, Linda, and the children could only watch as the sky above them shimmered and pulsed. The humming returned, and with it, a sense of wonder mixed with fear. Something was coming, something that would change their lives forever. The alien queen's daughter had to make a choice. Reveal herself now, or wait until she was certain of the connection. She chose patience. She would not frighten them unnecessarily. But her next move would be bold. She needed to touch the past, even if only for a moment, to confirm the future. Suddenly, the lights outside dimmed. A shadow passed over the town. Emma pointed upward. "Look, it's huge." The Carter stepped outside and saw the ship in full for the first time. It was unlike anything they had ever imagined. Its surface gleamed in shades of silver and blue, pulsating with energy. No sound came from it, but its presence was deafening. David felt his knees weaken. Linda held him tightly. The daughter focused her mind on the humans below. She could hear their thoughts faintly, their emotions and their fears. She reached out, not physically, but mentally, probing the connections left behind centuries ago. The bond was there, faint, fragile, but unmistakable. She smiled, a small curve of lips. "Yes," she whispered. These are mine." A sudden, sharp flash of light blinded the Carters for a moment. When their vision cleared, the ship had vanished from the sky, leaving only a whisper of energy behind. The humming faded. Objects in the house settled back into place. The Carters looked at each other, breathless and unsure of what had just happened. David spoke first. Did that really happen?" Emma hugged her father. It was beautiful, Dad." Linda's eyes filled with tears. "Something's coming. Something bigger than us." Far above, the alien queen's daughter watched from a hidden orbit. She had confirmed the connection. Her grandchildren, or at least their descendants, were here. The next steps were crucial. She would need to guide them, protect them, and prepare them for the future. The galaxy had not forgotten Earth, and now, neither had she. As she turned her ship away from the town, she left one final pulse of energy in the air, a tiny, almost imperceptible sign that she had been there. It was a message only the Carters could feel, a whisper of legacy and destiny. The night returned to quiet. The Carters tried to sleep, but their minds were racing. Something had touched their lives, something powerful and unexplainable. The world they knew was gone, replaced by the knowledge that they were part of a story far larger than themselves. And somewhere in the stars, the alien queen's daughter prepared for her next move. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a key piece in a puzzle that spanned centuries and galaxies. The unexpected turning point had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The morning after the strange lights, the Carter household was restless. No one slept well. Outside, the sky was clear and calm, but inside, a quiet tension lingered. Emma and her brother Michael tried to laugh and play as if nothing had happened, but the memory of the glowing ship and the humming that vibrated through their home was too strong. David sat at the kitchen table, rubbing his temples. "Linda, what did we see last night?" he asked, voice low. It was too real, too alive. Linda shook her head. "I don't know, David, but I think it wasn't dangerous." "Not really. It felt curious, like it was studying us." Her eyes flickered to the window. "Something is watching, though. I can feel it." They didn't know how right she was. Far above, hidden in orbit around Earth, the alien queen's daughter observed them. She had lingered near the town after the first encounter, invisible, silent, patient. Her mind was sharp, her senses far beyond human comprehension. She could feel every heartbeat, every pulse of curiosity and fear. And among all of them, the children, Emma and Michael, stood out. Their energy was unusual, subtle yet undeniable. The daughter remembered her mother's words from centuries ago. The bloodline carries more than flesh and bone. It carries potential, and potential can change the fate of worlds. She had come to Earth to see if that potential still lived, and now she could feel it stirring in these children. The daughter's first instinct was to approach them cautiously. She did not want to frighten them. She moved closer, invisible to human eyes, and entered their home the quiet hours before dawn. The Carters were asleep, but the children were restless. Emma sat up, feeling an unusual warmth in the room. Michael rubbed his eyes. "Did you feel that?" Emma nodded. "Someone's here, but I don't see them." The daughter observed them silently. She had watched many worlds, many species, but humans were strange. Their resilience, their unpredictability, their emotions, so chaotic, yet so beautiful. She had studied humans from afar before, but never this close. And never had she seen humans so connected to her own lineage. Suddenly, Emma spoke aloud, almost to herself. "Grandmother, is that you?" The words hung in the air. The daughter froze. She had not revealed herself, not even once, but the child had spoken instinctively. Something deep within Emma's mind had sensed her presence. It was a faint echo, a memory that belonged not to her, but to the blood that flowed within her. The daughter stepped forward, still unseen. Her voice, gentle and melodic, filled the room, though no human could tell where it came from. "You feel me, child. You know me, though we have never met." Michael shivered. "Who's there?" The daughter hesitated. She could reveal herself fully, but she knew humans might panic. They were not ready. She needed to understand them first. To confirm the bond, she focused her mind, creating a subtle image, a shimmering figure, faint and translucent. Emma gasped. You're real," she whispered. "Yes," the daughter replied softly. "I am here because of you. I need to know who you truly are." For hours, the daughter observed the children, studying their movements, their reactions, the tiny sparks of energy she could sense. Humans were fragile, but these children were not entirely human. They carried fragments of alien power, dormant, waiting to awaken. She had to be careful. Awakening them too soon could bring danger, not only to them but to the planet. Meanwhile, David and Linda noticed subtle changes. Objects in the house moved slightly, as if nudged by invisible hands. Emma's drawings, usually simple sketches of flowers and houses, had begun to depict strange landscapes, glowing structures, and beings she had never seen. Michael drew ships that seemed alive, pulsing with light. At the observatory, Dr. Harrow and his team were puzzled. The signals from the night before had returned, weaker but persistent. "It's localized now," he said. "It's centered on a small town, almost like the sources inside someone's home." Linda felt it too. She realized that the strange energy seemed to focus around her children. Fear gripped her, but so did curiosity. Were they special? Could they be connected to what she and David had witnessed in the sky? The daughter decided it was time for a subtle test. She focused her energy, creating a tiny pulse around the children. Emma's hair floated slightly, and her eyes glowed faintly. Michael felt a rush of warmth, an unexplainable strength in his body. They looked at each other in wonder and fear. "You are awakening," the daughter whispered in their minds. "Do not be afraid. This is your heritage." Emma gasped. "Mom, Dad, I feel something." David and Linda rushed to the children, but the effects had faded as quickly as they appeared. No one could see anything unusual, except for the fleeting sense of awe and fear in the children's eyes. The daughter watched from above, her heart, human-like, though not fully human, fluttering with emotion. She had never felt such a connection before. These children were not only her descendants, they were the link between two worlds, carrying potential to change the galaxy. But danger was approaching. The daughter sensed it first, a ripple in space, faint but unmistakable. Other alien forces had detected her return. They would not allow the children to live, not if they held the keys to power long lost. She needed a plan, and quickly. David, unaware of the interstellar stakes, tried to calm his family. "We need to stay together," he said. "Something is happening, yes, but we'll figure it out." Linda nodded, though her mind raced. I think something is guiding them. The children. That night, the daughter returned more boldly. She revealed herself fully for the first time, stepping into the room with a soft glow. Emma screamed at first, but the scream caught in her throat as she saw the figure before her. The daughter was beautiful and strange, her eyes glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. Who are you?" David asked, stepping protectively in front of his children. "I am a friend," the daughter said softly. "A guide. And I am your grandmother in a way. I am here because of you." Emma's eyes widened. "Grandmother?" "Yes," the daughter said. "I am the daughter of the one who came before. And I have found you, my grandchildren, or at least your bloodline." The room was silent for a moment. Fear, wonder, and disbelief filled every corner. Michael stepped forward cautiously. Are we really part of something else?" The daughter nodded. "Yes, and it is why you are special. Why you have abilities that others do not. But you must be careful. Others are coming. They will not understand you. They will see you as a threat." David and Linda exchanged a look. "Others?" David asked. "The galaxy is not empty," the daughter said. "There are forces that have hunted my family for centuries. They will come for you if they learn of your existence. But I will protect you. I will teach you to control your gifts. Together we will survive." The children's eyes shone with a mix of fear and excitement. They were scared, yes, but something inside them had awakened. A spark of destiny had been lit, and it could not be extinguished. As the daughter spoke, she shared memories from her mother, the alien queen, images of distant worlds, battles, and the bloodline she had preserved in secret. Emma and Michael watched, fascinated and bewildered. They could sense the truth of it, even if they could not fully understand it. Outside, the night was calm again, but the daughter's ship remained hidden in orbit. She watched the town, guarding her grandchildren from afar. She knew the next steps would be critical. Humans were unpredictable, but the bloodline was strong. If nurtured, guided, it could become a force beyond imagination. The first connection had been made. The forbidden connection between alien and human, past and present, was real, and it had changed everything. The Carter family's life, once ordinary, was now entwined with the fate of worlds. As dawn broke, the daughter faded from the room, leaving behind only a faint warmth and the memory of her presence. The children felt it, a lingering sense that they were not alone, that someone was watching, guiding, protecting. David hugged his children tightly. "Whatever is happening," he whispered, "we will face it together." Linda nodded. Yes, together. But neither of them realized just how far the danger reached. Somewhere in the stars, alien forces were moving, detecting the awakening of the bloodline. The daughter's presence had not gone unnoticed, and soon the Carters would have to face a reality larger and more dangerous than they could imagine. And far above, the alien queen's daughter looked down one last time before moving deeper into orbit. Her connection with the children was strong now, undeniable. The forbidden connection had been made, and it was only the beginning. The galaxy had shifted, and Earth's role in it was about to grow far beyond imagination. The morning sun spilled into the Carter home, but the warmth did nothing to calm the storm within. The family had changed overnight. Emma and Michael moved differently now, their senses sharper, their reactions quicker. Objects seemed to respond to them, subtly, almost as if the house itself obeyed them. David noticed the first sign while making breakfast. The toaster popped, but the bread didn't land on the counter. Instead, it hovered briefly, spinning slowly in midair before landing safely. His heart skipped. "Linda, did you see that?" Linda froze, her hands gripping the edge of the counter. "Yes, I did. Something is happening with them. Something unnatural." Emma giggled nervously. "It's me. I didn't even touch it." Michael frowned. "Me neither, but it felt like I was doing it without knowing." They didn't know it yet. But the alien queen's daughter had begun awakening their latent abilities fully. The connection was real now, stronger than before. She had been careful until now, guiding them subtly. But the time for subtlety was ending. From her hidden position in orbit, the daughter watched. The ripple of power flowing through the children was unmistakable. Their blood carried fragments of her alien heritage, fragments that had been dormant for generations. If fully awakened, it could rival technology that had ruled entire star systems. But awakening came with risk. The daughter sensed it immediately. Alien scouts, undetectable to Earth's instruments, were moving closer. They had detected the subtle energy shifts and were converging on the town. Their intent was clear. They would claim or destroy the bloodline before it could rise. The daughter's voice echoed gently in the children's minds at night. "You are ready," she said. "Tomorrow, you'll understand why you are special and why you are in danger." Emma and Michael slept uneasily, dreams filled with visions of distant worlds, glowing cities, and shadowy figures reaching for them. When they woke, the memory of the dreams lingered. They felt powerful but afraid, as if the galaxy itself was calling. David and Linda noticed the subtle changes but could not explain them. "They're not children anymore," David said quietly, watching Emma lift a mug without touching it. "Something has changed inside them." Linda nodded. "And I fear something is coming for them. The lights, the energy, it's not just a coincidence." That night, the daughter appeared again, fully visible, shimmering with an alien radiance. This time, she did not hide. "It is time," she said softly. "You must know the truth. You are descendants of my family, part human, part alien. Your blood carries abilities beyond imagination." Emma and Michael stared in disbelief. "Part alien?" Emma whispered. "Yes," the daughter confirmed. "And that is why you've been noticed. Others will come, and they will not be friendly. You must prepare, or they will destroy everything you love." David stepped forward, anger and fear mingling. "Why now? Why reveal this to children? You could have scared them to death." The daughter's eyes softened. "I revealed only what they needed to know. They have the strength to understand. And soon, they will have to act." Suddenly, a low hum filled the air, stronger than ever before. The lights outside pulsed, and shadows moved across the walls. The daughter's expression darkened. "They are here." Through the sky, dozens of alien ships materialized, their forms jagged and menacing, unlike the graceful lines of the daughter's vessel. They moved silently, scanning, hunting, seeking the source of the awakened bloodline. Emma and Michael felt a surge of fear. They're coming for us?" Michael asked. "Yes," the daughter replied. "And you must trust me. Your abilities will protect you if you believe in them." The first scout ship descended near the town. Its dark metal surface shimmered with strange energy. David grabbed his family, backing toward the basement. "We need to hide," he said, though he knew hiding would do little against beings of such power. The daughter raised her hand, and a barrier of soft, shimmering energy formed around the house. The aliens scanned, but they could not penetrate it. Their surprise was clear. They had expected the humans to be helpless. But the daughter's bond with her grandchildren was stronger than any technology. Inside the house, Emma concentrated. She felt the pulse of energy the daughter had taught her to recognize. Slowly, objects began to move with her thoughts. The mug floated again, then the chairs. Michael's eyes glowed faintly, and the air around him hummed with power. David and Linda could only watch, stunned. "They're controlling it?" David asked. "Yes," the daughter said softly. "And they must. The aliens are coming closer. They will not leave unless we act." Outside, the scout ship fired a pulse of energy, striking the barrier. Sparks and ripples erupted, but the shield held. The daughter smiled faintly. "Good. Now you understand." Emma and Michael exchanged nervous glances. They had never felt so alive, so powerful, and so terrified. But the fear transformed into determination. This was their world. They had inherited more than memories. They had inherited a legacy. The first attack subsided, but the aliens were relentless. More ships approached, cutting through the night sky like predators circling prey. The daughter knew Earth's military would be no match. The children, however, could be. "You must focus," she said. "The energy flows through you. Use it. Control it. Protect yourselves and your family." Emma closed her eyes. She concentrated, feeling the warmth of her bloodline, the pulse of alien energy inside her. Slowly, a shield of light formed around her and her brother. Michael joined her, the energy linking between them, stronger together. The first scout ship tried to breach their shield. Sparks flew, but the barrier held, glowing brighter with each attempt. The aliens were shocked. They had never encountered beings with such raw potential, especially on a human planet. David and Linda felt the tension and awe simultaneously. Their children were no longer ordinary humans. They were something else, something powerful, something that could change the balance of the universe. The daughter observed silently. She could not interfere fully. She wanted them to realize their own power. But she knew guidance was needed. She whispered instructions into their minds. Focus, channel your fear, turn it into strength. Emma and Michael obeyed, the shield pulsing, expanding, pushing back the alien scouts. Sparks of energy leapt from the barrier, striking the ships. One scout ship wobbled, damaged by the unexpected force. The aliens recoiled, reassessing their target. David watched his children with disbelief and awe. They're fighting back by themselves? Yes, the daughter said. And this is only the beginning. Their bloodline is strong, but they must learn quickly. The galaxy will not wait for them to be ready. The alien scouts regrouped, preparing for a more direct attack. The town below was unaware of the danger, but the daughter could sense every human life, every heartbeat. She would protect them, but the children needed to understand their responsibility. Emma's hands glowed as she focused harder. Energy shot from her palms, forming protective beams around the house. Michael joined, the beams linking together, creating a dome that shimmered with power. The alien ship struggled against it, sparks flying from their hulls. You are ready, the daughter said quietly. But soon you will face a choice. Will you fight to protect this world, or hide and let others decide your fate? Emma looked at her brother. We can't hide. We have to protect everyone. Michael nodded. Yes, we're ready. The daughter smiled faintly. Good. That is the heart of our bloodline. Courage, strength, responsibility. Outside, the alien fleet paused, circling, realizing that the humans were not helpless. The Carter children, with the daughter's guidance, had awakened fully. Their abilities were no longer dormant. They were a force to be reckoned with. David and Linda hugged their children tightly. Whatever comes next, David whispered, we face it together. Linda added, and we will survive. We have to. The daughter faded from view, returning to her ship, but she left a faint pulse of energy in the house, a reminder of her presence, a connection to their bloodline, and a promise of protection. Above, the alien fleet hovered, recalculating. They had underestimated humans. The children were not ordinary. They carried a legacy that could tip the balance of power across the stars. And the daughter, watching silently, knew the real battle had only just begun. The unexpected turning point had arrived. Humans were no longer passive observers in the galaxy. They were participants, carriers of power, and a key to a story that would echo across worlds for generations to come. The night air was heavy with tension. The town lay quiet under the stars, but every shadow felt alive. David and Linda had barricaded the house as best they could, but it wasn't enough. The real protection came from within. The children, and the alien queen's daughter, whose presence now hummed faintly in the room like a living heartbeat. Emma and Michael stood in the center of the living room, energy radiating from their bodies. Their eyes glowed faintly, a sign that the alien heritage was fully awake. The daughter hovered nearby, guiding them, though still mostly invisible. Her hand flicked subtly, adjusting the flow of power through the children. You must focus, she whispered in their minds. They will test you. They will try to break your concentration. But your connection is stronger than their weapons. Outside, the alien fleet had gathered into a tight formation. Dozens of ships moved silently, scanning for the source of energy. Their leader, a massive, jagged vessel with dark, shimmering armor, emitted pulses that probed the area. These pulses caused lights to flicker and the ground to tremble. The scouts in the previous night had returned, more cautious, more aggressive. Emma clenched her fists. I can feel them. They're trying to enter. Yes, the daughter replied. But they cannot. Not yet. Use your fear. Turn it into strength. Michael nodded, taking a deep breath. The first scout ship, descended rapidly, firing beams that struck the protective energy dome around the house. Sparks and waves of force rippled outward, but the shield held. Emma felt a surge of anger and determination. She raised her hands, letting her energy flow outward like a tide. The beams of the scout's attack bounced off her energy and were redirected into ground, sending tremors that shook the street. David and Linda ducked instinctively. What is happening? David whispered. They're controlling it, the daughter said. They are no longer just children. They are the future of this bloodline. And now they fight. The scout ship recoiled, damaged by the redirected attack. A second ship dove aggressively, trying to break the shield from another angle. Michael focused, his pulse matching Emma's. Energy flowed from him into the dome, strengthening it. The two children had formed a connection that amplified their powers, a link the daughter had hoped for but hadn't forced. The street outside lit up with flashes as the alien fleet attacked. Cars shook in their garages, windows rattled, and the few awake neighbors watched in awe and terror. The aliens realized quickly that these humans were not ordinary. They had underestimated the strength of a bloodline that had remained hidden for centuries. The daughter stepped fully into view now, shimmering in her alien light. Her presence bolstered the children's energy, making their shield nearly impenetrable. Together, she said softly, we are stronger than anything they can bring. Emma felt a strange calm wash over her, even as the building trembled around them. She lifted her hands and extended her mind outward. The energy that had been pulsing inside her now flowed like a river through the house, through the street, and into the approaching fleet. The alien ships were battered by invisible forces, rocked by energy they could not comprehend. Michael's energy joined with hers. The dome expanded, enveloping the entire block, forcing the scouts to retreat. Sparks flew from the ship's hulls as they struggled against the combined power of the children. For the first time, the aliens hesitated. David and Linda watched, mouths open, hearts pounding. I can't believe this, Linda whispered. You are witnessing history, the daughter said. They are the guardians now. But the victory was temporary. A massive wave of energy erupted from the lead alien ship, far stronger than the scouts. It sent shock waves through the street, shattering windows and cracking the pavement. The children were thrown to the ground, groaning in pain. Don't give up, the daughter urged, rushing to their side. She placed her hands lightly on theirs, channeling her own energy into the children. Focus. You are stronger than your fear. Emma's eyes shot open, glowing brighter than ever. She stood, raising her hands, and unleashed a beam of pure energy that struck the lead ship. The alien vessel shuddered, sparks flying across its surface. Michael followed, sending a wave of force into the same ship. The combined attack forced it back, tumbling out of formation. The daughter's presence became more active now. She guided, protected, and amplified, but she did not fight directly. She wanted the children to learn, to understand the strength within themselves. The alien fleet regrouped, circling like predators. But the children were no longer frightened. They were determined. Emma and Michael could feel their connection deepening. Every beat of their hearts, every pulse of alien energy flowing through their veins, was now synchronized. Together, they were unstoppable. Suddenly, a small fleet of new ships appeared on the horizon. They moved faster, more agile, and far more dangerous. The daughter's eyes narrowed. They have reinforcements. The real attack is coming. You must be ready. David looked at her, terrified. How do we survive this? The children, the daughter replied simply. They are the key. You must protect them, trust them, and follow their lead. The children understood the warning without words. They had to act. Emma focused on the incoming ships, feeling their movements, their intentions. She projected her energy outward, creating barriers that deflected the first salvo of attacks. Michael supported her, sending waves of energy that destabilized the ship's controls. The alien pilot screamed in frustration, unable to comprehend the power of two children controlling forces far beyond human technology. The battle escalated. Energy beams collided in midair, creating shock waves that shook the town. Trees snapped. Streetlights exploded, and the ground quaked beneath the feet of the carters. But the children stood strong. Their bond, their shared heritage, and the guidance of the daughter made them nearly invincible. Linda and David did what they could. They helped neighbors evacuate, guided people to safety, and did their best to shield their home. But they knew the real protection was coming from within, the children, their grandchildren in a sense they could not yet fully understand. The alien fleet tried a different tactic. They deployed smaller attack drones, agile and fast, designed to bypass the energy shields. But Emma and Michael reacted instinctively. The children's powers extended beyond simple defense. They could anticipate movement, sense intentions, and react before the drones could strike. Each drone was neutralized, disarmed, or thrown away with precise energy pulses. The lead alien ship attempted a direct landing near the house, intending to extract the source of the energy. The daughter warned the children, "Do not allow them to touch the ground. Push them back." Emma and Michael combined their forces. A massive surge of energy erupted from the house, lifting the lead ship into the air. Sparks and fragments rained down as it struggled against the invisible force. The alien pilot's screams were audible even over the storm of energy. Finally, the fleet began to retreat. The scouts, damaged and demoralized, pulled back into orbit. The lead ship disappeared into the distance, carrying its wounded behind. The daughter breathed a quiet sigh of relief. "This was only a warning," she said softly. "They will return. But now, the children know their power, and the bloodline has awakened fully." Emma and Michael collapsed to the ground, exhausted but exhilarated. Their energy still hummed faintly, leaving traces of light on the walls. They had survived their first real battle, and they had won. David hugged his children tightly, tears in his eyes. "I don't know how you did that, but you saved us all." Linda looked at the daughter, now visible and serene. "Thank you for everything." The daughter smiled faintly. "They saved themselves. I only guided them. But the battle is not over. The galaxy has taken notice. Your family, your town will never be safe again." Emma and Michael looked at each other. They were tired, but new resolve filled them. "We will protect everyone," Emma said. "Yes," Michael agreed. "We're ready for whatever comes next." The daughter nodded, a faint glow surrounding her. "Good. Then we prepare. The next battle will test more than strength. It will test courage, strategy, and the heart of the bloodline itself." Above, the stars were quiet once more, but the daughter knew it would not last. Across the galaxy, forces were moving, aware of the children's awakening. Earth was no longer just a planet. It had become a battleground, a focal point of destiny. And inside the Carter home, two children, once ordinary, had become guardians. The forbidden connection had awakened fully, and the secrets of the bloodline were now their shield, their weapon, and their responsibility. The battle of secrets had begun. The morning after the battle, the Carter home was quiet. The town had survived, largely unaware of the war that had raged just above their rooftops. Trees were bent, windows cracked, and a few streets bore scars from the energy surges. But the family was safe. David and Linda sat in the kitchen, exhausted, while Emma and Michael moved slowly around the living room, their energy still flickering faintly like a heartbeat. The children had changed. Their eyes glowed softly with the power they now understood, and their minds were sharper, more aware. The alien queen's daughter hovered in the corner, visible now, her form shimmering faintly in the sunlight streaming through the broken windows. She observed the children, proud yet cautious. "You have done well," she said softly. "The galaxy is watching, and your bloodline is now known. That is both your strength and your burden." Emma, curious and determined, stepped forward. "Are they coming back?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Yes," the daughter replied. "Others will return. They will test your strength, your courage, and your unity. But you have learned what it means to fight together. That is your greatest weapon." Michael frowned. "We defeated them once, but we were lucky. What if next time? You will be ready?" The daughter said, "Luck is nothing compared to power that comes from unity. You are not just humans. You are the heirs of a bloodline that spans worlds. That is why they fear you." David took a deep breath. "So, all this time we were normal people, but we had this legacy inside us." "Yes," the daughter said. "The legacy of courage, wisdom, and resilience. And now it has awakened fully. But awakening brings responsibility. You are no longer ordinary. Your choices will affect not just this town, not just this planet, but the future of countless worlds. Linda shivered. That's a lot for children to bear. They are not just children, the daughter said, her eyes glowing faintly. They are the link between two species. They are the bridge between worlds. And they will rise to their destiny. The children absorb her words, feeling the weight of truth and the promise of potential. They had survived, yes, but survival was only the beginning. The next step was understanding, mastering, and growing into their role as guardians. The daughter led them outside. The streets were quiet now, and the sun reflected off the damaged rooftops. Emma and Michael raised their hands instinctively, sensing the faint energy of the retreating alien ships. They could feel the pulse of the galaxy in a way humans rarely could. "Do you feel it?" the daughter asked. "Yes," Emma whispered. "It's like the world is alive." Michael nodded. "And we're part of it somehow?" The daughter smiled. "Exactly. That is a connection you must honor. Power without understanding is dangerous. Strength without heart is empty. But you have both. That is why you survived and why you will thrive." David stepped forward, looking at his children with pride. "We faced something impossible. And yet, here we are. You too, you're extraordinary." Emma and Michael glanced at each other, the weight of their inheritance settling in. They were no longer just children playing in a quiet town. They were something greater, something the galaxy had waited centuries to awaken. Suddenly, the daughter's expression shifted. Her gaze turned skyward toward the distant stars. "There are others," she said quietly. "Forces that have observed us, calculating, waiting. They will come when you least expect it, and you must be ready." David frowned. "Others? How many?" "Enough to challenge you. Enough to test a bloodline," she replied. "But not today. Today, you recover. Today, you understand what you carry within you. Tomorrow, the real challenges will begin." The family nodded silently. They were still scared, still uncertain, but they were no longer helpless. The bloodline had awakened, and with it, the power to face whatever came. Over the next days, the daughter trained the children. She guided them in controlling their energy, strengthening their connection, and understanding the limits of their powers. Emma learned to create protective shields that could cover entire blocks. Michael discovered he could manipulate energy flows to disarm machines and redirect attacks. Together, they became a synchronized force, their abilities amplified by trust and connection. David and Linda supported them, offering guidance, encouragement, and the human perspective the daughter knew the children needed. Though she was their mentor in power, they were still learning what it meant to be human, to feel, to love, to protect. As the training progressed, the daughter revealed more about the bloodline. Their ancestors had been explorers, warriors, and guardians across galaxies. Their legacy was not just strength. It was knowledge, wisdom, and the capacity to inspire hope. Humans had inherited only fragments, but the children carried enough to influence the future. One evening, the daughter brought them to the top of a nearby hill. The town spread below, quiet and unaware of the battles fought above it. The stars twinkled, distant and vast. "You see this?" she asked. "This is your world. But it is also part of something much larger. You are not alone. Your family is connected to countless others across the galaxy. Some you will meet, some you will never see. But your actions matter." Emma looked up, awe in her eyes. "We can really make a difference?" "Yes," the daughter said. "And you will. But you must never forget this moment. The first time you understood your place in the universe. It will guide you when challenges seem impossible." Michael, always practical, asked, "What about the aliens who attacked? They'll be back." "They will," the daughter admitted. "But now you are ready. You know your strength, your limits, and your potential. You will face them, not as children, not as humans, but as the heirs of a legacy that commands respect across stars." David and Linda hugged their children. "We'll face it together," David said. "Always." "Yes," Linda added. "We are family, and families protect each other no matter what." The daughter's gaze softened. "That is why you survived. That is why the bloodline endured. Love and courage are as powerful as any weapon. Never forget that. Night fell again, and the town slept under the stars. But Emma and Michael stayed awake, their minds alive with the energy coursing through them, their hearts determined to protect the world they loved. High above, the alien fleets that had attacked withdrew to distant orbits, recalculating but not defeated. They had learned one thing. These humans were no longer ordinary. And across the galaxy, whispers began, stories of a bloodline that had survived, that had awakened fully, and that could challenge the power of worlds. The daughter watched the children one last time before retreating to her ship. She had fulfilled her mission for now. But the story was far from over. She left behind a faint pulse in the air, a reminder that she was near, watching, guiding, and protecting. Rest now, she whispered into their minds. Tomorrow, the galaxy will call again, and you will answer. The Carters, exhausted but resolute, held each other close. They had survived battles, discovered truths beyond imagination, and embraced a legacy they had never known. The unexpected turning point had become their new reality, and they were ready to face whatever the universe threw at them. As dawn broke, the town appeared peaceful, a fragile calm after the storm. But the skies held secrets, and the stars carried whispers of challenges yet to come. The Carter children had become more than ordinary. They had become a symbol of hope, power, and the enduring strength of a bloodline that had waited centuries to rise. And somewhere far beyond the reaches of Earth, the galaxy had taken note. The legacy had begun,